There's such a positive energy in all of you this morning, just listening to all of you talk and that. And I've been in this great nation for 10 years. I'm a citizen now, and I love this country. I'm passionate about America. I believe in what we do here and what we believe in. I'm just so interested. I always say to people that in America, Americans wake up every morning and they get attacked. Every single morning, American wakes up and they get attacked. And they get attacked with a spirit of giving. Americans always want to give. Coming from Africa, where when you land on a plane in Africa, the first thing you see there is give me. And you see that in any third world country, and I've traveled 9 African countries and been in places like Brazil and Argentina, and wherever you go, in a lot of other places, it's this, what can I get? An American, the spirit of America. I'll never forget my first Christmas year before I was living. It was 1996, and I walked in this home, and this Christmas tree was there, and there were just thousands of gifts. And I thought, have they got like 40 people, 50 people coming around? I said, no, that's just for the family. And I was shocked. I mean, and then I went to other people's homes, and it was the same thing. And the amount of giving in this nation just amazes me. What's really in this country. And we saw what happened, with 9/11, and we saw how America has rebuilt. Even now, what we're going through as a nation right now with our economy, and everybody's shaken about their jobs and how they can pay the mortgage, and nothing's stable. And Ford says, yeah, you can buy a car, and if you lose your job, I'll pay you for 9 months. I mean, the whole concept of fear, right now in our nation. But you know what? I am least concerned about what we're going through right now. I'm least concerned about that, because I know that inside every person in this nation, there's a desire to build up again, and we're going to go back where we were. And a lot of people, can't see that hope. They can't see. They just see where we are now, and they're crippled with this fear over all of us. So, first, I hope you can understand what I'm saying. People every day, I live on the 29th floor downtown San Diego, and every day in the elevator, somebody will say to me, "So where are you from?" Every single day of my life, and I say, "From San Diego." And you can see their face. Well, should I ask him, or is it, correct if I? I said, do you mean because of my accent? They said, yes. I said, actually, I got my accent at Nordstrom's for $1,000, and you can take it back without a receipt. And well, what I really am, I'm an African American without a tan. You see, I'm a real African American. I'm the real thing. Okay, with all the June gloom and the May gray, I lost my tan. So I normally got a bit more of a tan, But no, I'm a citizen of this great nation, and I never forget becoming a citizen, and my passion to live in this country from years ago. We must be careful what you say to kids and children. Very careful. My grandmother's mother came to America in 1936 and went up the Empire State Building. It was 4 years old, and she came back and told her daughter, which is my grandmother, and my mom. And my grandmother lived with us, and she would tell me stories lying in bed about America. And I can still remember it as yesterday. And I must have been about this high and growing up, and my grandmother would always tell stories every night. And she would talk about, America. And something was planted years ago, in my heart about coming to this great nation. And I've been to 35 states. I decided to settle in San Diego County. I think it's the best county we've got in this whole nation. I'm very biased about that, and I believe that. I want to speak a little bit about attitude this morning, and you guys have already got an attitude, and I heard about you before you even got here. They were telling me stories about, oh yes, I'll never forget, when I first moved here 10 years ago, and it's about a year after. And then we had the great election of 2000 with Al Gore and George Bush. Remember that? He said to me, "Isn't it disgusting that a nation can't president, whatever? Isn't it? What does the world think?" And I said, "You know what? If this happened in another country, we would have had civil war." I said, "But in America," I said, "we've got a great system, and we sort out our issues because our attitude of dealing with things in this country. And if you have that in Africa or other places, there would have been civil war. Okay? And the whole outlook of attitude has always amazed me, about this country. If you go to Europe and that, and I don't know how many, you probably all travel to Europe and that, and you just see the difference in a restaurant when you go there, and of service. You go to a restaurant in Europe, service, and you see how people respond to you, and you come to America, and you see, we grow up with this. You're all so used to it, and we expect service here. But when you travel, and you realize, the attitude and everything, even serving, is so different in this country. Right as you started praying. I mean, you see, Americans don't even say they get attacked with giving. You don't even know what you're praying. God, thank you for the opportunity that you've given us. There's this attitude of thankfulness and this attitude of opportunity. And then he prays, Lord, help us to collect enough funds. I mean, again, just about the attitude of giving. I mean, yeah, you pray. We see we're just so used to this, but it's so in us. The things we ask for is about giving. It always comes out of an American. Giving, always. Well, just listen to. It's always about giving in this nation. It's amazing. It's so amazing to listen. I love listening to people speak in this country because it's so in them. It's always about opportunity and giving. Always about that.